Alright, in this video I wanted to talk about the Mirror Vordred weapon specifically. I think I covered it briefly in the Week 3 Golden Gift Box crossover video, and I thought it was okay. I think a lot of people probably think it's one of the better items, and I would agree, but I think it's actually maybe even better than what I originally thought. I feel like that I have come across uh, maybe a couple of instances in which it actually excels, to be honest with you, especially in some of the beast build variants on the burn heal mode. So I want to kind of show off. This is my burn eater character. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm actually going to do the what I think is the maybe the most powerful uh, burn combination in a single turn. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that so I can click this guy here. Alright, now bring this back here. But essentially, you can use it in a very basic way like this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use a Soul Neko variant. This character has Luna and Soul Neko both, depending on how I want to play. If I'm using the Neko Overlord's skill, I'll just use the Luna Neko. It has a higher Ellie comp. If I'm, but that gives me the opportunity to play more as on the Beastmaster variant, so I can go both routes. I don't use wands with the Luna Neko. I just burn eat with it. But Mana Cascade with this Legion Monsterlord weapon can get up to a 15 power water burn. It actually didn't inflict that time. Go ahead and do it again. See what happens here. Alright, so we have some water burns here. And then what I'm going to do, so we have 2,080 hit points. So now we're on heal mode. It's going to eat burns. So let's see how much hit points I can eat here, or how much burn I can eat. So kind of heal I get. So in the 400s there. I do think there's a base and random to this. And so you can get up to, let's see what this is. This isn't 100 and something. You can actually get up to north of 900 in a single turn. I'll try to see if I can manage to get that done here. So let's do this. So you can actually use Arcane Rift Key, which I happen to use as more burn eating. And I'm going to try and transfer so I didn't do it there. Alright, so what we're going to do here with Legion Monsterlord Reaver. Alright, let's see what kind of burn we can get here. We actually inflicted the Void Burn. We've got some water burns. We've got some harm burns. So there's a lot of burns here in a pretty quick fashion. So what I'm going to do here is just eat some hit points and just to see what kind of heal I get this time. So we're actually down to 2,000, and then so let's see what happens. That one was closer to 600. So there's still a lot of burn there. Let's see what kind we kind of get here. From 1806 to 2400. So another 600. Like I said, you can actually approach 900. There's still going to be some burn there. So now we're getting to the point where the pet and guest is just inflicting the burn. So let's see what we can get just based on pet and guest burns. 1933 to 2016. So like 70 or so, or 80. So I think just using it to eat from the Soul Neko Pet and Guest Burns isn't going to yield, but maybe between 70 and 130 hit points per turn, which isn't bad. But if you're doing like burn stacking ideas, like I showed you earlier, you could probably get 6 to 900 for a turn or two. So it's a good way to get some heals in. So I wanted to kind of show that pretty straightforward, and then come over here to my main and maybe show off a couple of different ideas. So the first thing I'm going to show off is the Typhon Shard armor. Um, if you remember, so this armor right here lets you do this toggle for 196 SP to inflict panic on attacks and spells. Remember, there's a water and a darkness version. And then the Terrifying Onslaught will lock your armor text to water while also burning foes and healing yourself with each strike. So basically, it's a per landed hit heal. But what I wanted to show you right here with this specific armor, and keep in mind, there may be some people that see this and go run to staff and go, oh no, you need to nerf this bullshit. Well, I guess so be it, but this is actually going to, I believe it's going to inflict burn and re-eat it immediately. So the burn will not remain, from what I understand. So we're going to have 2,021 hit points. So now we're up to 2313. So it's about 300 heal there, and there's no burn. So it's inflicting burn and eating it immediately. 2245 to almost 2500. So in this case, that was more like 250. And keep in mind, this panic stack will be ever growing. So eventually you're going to always be out healing the damage done to you. So we're going to go from 2463. Missed both of those. All right, so we're at, let's see, we're at 2439. Now 2731, so just shy of 300 again. So with this method, it's around probably between about 240 to 320, I think, per turn, something like that. So this time I got up to full heal, and we're down to 0.07. So again, it inflicts burns, but the weapon re-eats it immediately. And if you noticed, I was down a little bit in my hit points, but I was able to bring it back up. So here, what I'm going to do is do a Unopoka, quick cast buff, and then the Tribal Shaman buff, hop back into Typhon Shard. I'm going to eat Essence Orb, get back to full. And then from here, I'm actually going to see what kind of heals and panics I get. So that was pretty close to 300 right there. So we're already down to only 44 damage because we have a 57 panic here. There's another near 300 heal. So we're down to 14% panic. So I could end up pretty close to full heal here. 2754. So basically this idea here is an ever-ending build of panic, but you're healing every hit too with the weapon combo. So it's inflicting burn and healing it immediately. So that's the first combo I wanted to show off. That one's probably more powerful than this one. This one's going to be more resource heavy. But the Legion Monsterlord armor was okay. It wasn't like the greatest idea they ever made. But if you remember, so you basically increase your burn damage with this toggle for 20 SP. Then you get a plus 25% damage for your pets and guests for 39 and 59 SP respectively. So this total combination of SP, and then it's 196 per ally. So this is extremely heavy with burn eating. I mean SP. But I'm going to also be burn eating here. So before I show you this, the Winter Warden armor also works the same way as the Typhon Shard. It'll inflict burn and eat it immediately. However, it is a weaker burn, and so the heal is much less, and that armor isn't inflicting like a panic or choke at the same time. So the overall effect is way, way worse. But it does actually work. I have also tested the GPS burn armor that does 0 damage. That does not work this way. It will just inflict burn, and then the following turn it'll eat it. And I haven't done a lot of different testing with other burn ideas, but if you have any armors that inflict burn that you would like me to test, either through a weapons-based skill, or maybe there's just a toggle and it inflicts burns, let me know and I can test and see if it works out. But basically what I like to do with this armor is this. So what I'll do, because it is so utterly heavy on resources, I want to make sure I get as much as I can back. So I'll hop into Tribal Shaman, get myself that toggle, which will add a ton of healing, and then I'll go ahead and give myself an Unapoka here. And then the first thing that I actually do in the Legion Monsterlord armor is I actually will go ahead and use the Warcaster staff and inflict Seeing Red right off the bat. So that way we get a panic stack pretty quick right off the bat. So as you can see, we're already down to under 10% in one spellcast. And with the potency here, you're going to be set for the rest of the battle. But if you notice, we have, after one round, and I just casted a spell, didn't cast a burn spell, nothing like that. So we've got a 3.75 power water burn for 3 rounds, a 2.5 power darkness burn for 3 rounds, and then I lucked out and got the void burn from the Warcaster staff spellcast. So that's another reason why I like to start off like that, is the potential for an extra burn. Again, you could also bring over another Arcane Rift key on this build if you wanted to, and do that before all this. But it's really not necessary, because I want to show you the actual healing that it's going to occur. This is a little bit more of a tanky thing. It's actually going to be less damage than the Typhon Shard. The Typhon Shard armor is actually also a full defensive armor, but I wanted to show off the heal here. So we've got 1804 hit points up to 2675. So that's about 700 something, 760 in one turn. So let's see what's left. We still got all those burns. Basically the void burn's gone, and then now we have basically the standard from the pet and guest damage. And that's it. So it's just pet and guest damage. They landed their hits. So we're at 2125. Again, this is just the standard burns, which is higher than, say, Solneko. So 2125 to 2942. So that's over 800 that turn. There's still enough burn left over. to, especially with the toggle that enhances the burn, that you are still doing some burn damage. Now, if you wanted to, you could switch to a different weapon. Maybe you wanted to switch to a burn weapon, something that inflicts burn. Maybe because I'm a mage, I have a burn spell that I could cast this time, because again I'm using this resource heal pet and guest combination. So, but I'm just gonna continue doing this to heal. It's not a big deal, just to kind of finish the video. Again, we're still doing burn damage. I think I did about 400 damage there. So as you can see, I ended the battle fully healed. And now Legion Monsterlord acts more like Infernal Champion, in that you're using the weapon. So Infernal Champion inflicts a heal poison, so it's constantly healing you and just doing damage. Or this is eating the burn to heal you. So I feel like Infernal Champion's maybe more offensive in that regard, but still this armor is basically, I think the Mirror Vordred weapon has made this armor idea sort of come alive. And so ultimately, I think the Typhon Shard one's probably a stronger combination, because you're including a constantly building panic, whereas this idea as a mage, I inflicted all my panic, or most of my panic, on turn one, and I'm having to eat the burn from the previous turn, whereas Typhon Shards, it's like an inflict and auto eat same turn. Granted, the heal here is going to be higher, but that's it for this video. Again, I think the Mirror Vordred weapons in certain applications, such as the ones that I've shown, are extremely powerful. And again, if any of you have any other ideas for armors that inflict burn on weapon-based skills, or even a toggle off the top of your head, I'd be willing to test and see how that works out for everybody. Thanks.